Welcome to English Practice and Podcasts. We know you've probably got a massive life decision in front of you, so we've processed a huge stack of sources.
Yeah, everything from really detailed economic reports and demographic studies to, grassroots community surveys.
Exactly. And our mission today is to build you a fast track to being well-informed about one of the biggest life changes a person can make, which is moving to the U.S.
We're analyzing the 5 best states for new immigrants, trying to distill that critical knowledge you need to figure out the best return on investment, the best ROI for this massive choice.
And that means looking past the glossy marketing brochures, right? We're comparing real economic opportunities, the true total cost of living, the often hidden tax burden.
And critically, the actual community support structures you'll find in these top destinations.
So the sources pointed to 5 clear contenders.
Yeah, and it's no surprise given their massive immigrant populations. We're talking California, Texas, New York, Florida, and New Jersey, the big 5.
Okay, and we're running all of them through the same analytical model, comparing them on 4 key pillars.
That's right. First, demographics and scale. Second is economy and jobs. Third, and this one's really critical, is cost of living and taxes.
And finally, community and services.
The goal for you, the listener, is to walk away with a really clear understanding of the fundamental trade-off driving this whole decision. Because really, the choice is between aggressively maximizing your raw opportunity on one hand,
And on the other hand, strategically minimizing your expenses to maximize what you take home.
Exactly. And every single state we cover offers a very distinct advantage somewhere on that crucial spectrum.
Okay, let's unpack this. We should probably start with the states that, dominate the global imagination.
Yeah.
Ones known for their massive economic engines.
And the massive price tags that come with them.
Right. The high opportunity, high cost giants.
Yeah.
California and New York.
Starting with California, the sheer scale of the immigrant population is It's staggering. The data shows that roughly 22% of all U.S. immigrants live there.
So 1 in 5 newcomers settles in the Golden State.
1 in 5. And what that means is that nearly 27% of California's entire population is foreign-born. That density creates an unparalleled ecosystem.
And that supports a really deep and diversified economy.
It does. Everyone knows Silicon Valley for tech and LA for entertainment, but the job market is so much broader than that. You've got cutting-edge biotech in San Diego, massive agriculture in the Central Valley, high-level financial services.
Right. Which means the job spectrum genuinely ranges from essential entry-level roles, the kind that help you get a start, all the way up to specialized executive positions. The path for upward mobility is there.
So where's the friction? What's the immediate catch for someone thinking about a move to, say, LA or the Bay Area?
The catch, according to the sources, is immediate and high competition, especially in those fast growth sectors like IT and startups. You're competing with the best talent from all over the world.
I imagine that intense competition is balanced by correspondingly high salaries, though.
It is, absolutely. But you need every single penny of those high salaries because the cost side of the equation is brutal.
You're talking about housing.
Oh, yeah. You cannot talk about California without focusing on housing. We're looking at median housing costs in San Francisco, LA, San Diego that are routinely double, sometimes triple the national average.
Wow. And if I'm an immigrant earning a 6-figure salary, how does that cost burden plus the progressive state income tax? How does that really impact my ability to save?
It creates a financial squeeze from day one. There's no way around it. Your effective disposable income is cut substantially. You have to be incredibly careful with your budget just to get by.
But that's where the other side of California's scale kicks in, right? The community aspect, the support networks.
Exactly. California has these deep, decades-old, established ethnic networks, Latin American, various Asian groups that function as instant support structures. They're your first safety net.
So they're providing job leads, housing tips, cultural support.
Everything. But let's challenge that a little. Is that network really accessible if you land in a lower-cost city like Bakersfield? Or is that benefit really just limited to the high-cost areas where the jobs are?
That is a crucial distinction. The density of the network often traps the economic opportunity, so you get the best support where you also have the highest cost.
But the state as a whole benefits from institutions like the UCs and Stanford, which provide this amazing infrastructure for entrepreneurship investors, mentors, accelerators.
So the pitch is clear. Maximum career opportunity and a world-class cultural safety net, but only if you can tolerate that massive housing cost.
That frames the trade-off perfectly. Okay, let's pivot east to New York, the financial and cultural powerhouse. Demographically, it's similar, but 23% foreign-born.
But the concentration in New York City is just extreme.
It is. And the economy there mirrors that density. It's focused on finance, on Wall Street, media, the arts, and a colossal medical and educational system.
Which provides stable, massive employment opportunities across almost every qualification level.
And importantly, the traditional demand for labor in things like hospitality, services, construction, that's still consistently strong. It provides entry points for everyone.
Absolutely. Now, the cost structure in New York has a unique wrinkle compared to California. It has the highest cost of living and housing of our 5 states, especially in Manhattan.
But the tax burden is compounded in a very specific way.
Yes, you're hit with both state and municipal income taxes.
So for a professional earning, let's say $120,000 in Manhattan, the sources show that the combined effective tax rate can actually be higher than in California.
Correct. Even if California's top rate looks steeper on paper, the tax bite in New York City is significant and it's immediate. It hits your cash flow instantly.
But where New York compensates, much like California, is in that adaptation infrastructure.
The sources suggest New York offers maybe the most comprehensive adaptation infrastructure in the country.
The density of the city allows for these incredible multinational communities. They really function as little homelands across the boroughs.
And you find these amazing, focused NGO networks, free language courses, migration centers, and often free legal help tailored specifically to newcomers.
So it's maximum white-collar opportunity combined with maximum services to simplify that stressful initial integration period.
Okay, so that wraps up our high-cost, high-opportunity segment. These are the states where you're basically paying a premium for access and economic depth.
And the clear distinction we're about to see now is how states approach income tax, which completely changes the whole take-home pay calculation.
It changes everything. We are moving into what you could call the tax advantage states, where maximizing your disposable income is the immediate focus. Texas and Florida.
Let's start with Texas. The energy manufacturing and logistics engine, their foreign-born population is a bit lower, around 18 to 19%.
But that share is climbing rapidly as people move there specifically for jobs and those tax benefits. It's a fast-growing, diverse market.
And a huge, stable draw is that medical cluster, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Houston's Texas Medical Center is one of the world's largest.
Exactly. It provides thousands of stable, high-demand jobs. And then alongside that, you have the explosion of IT and startups in Austin and Dallas, the whole Silicon Hills thing.
The main draw that drives all this growth is the cost difference. Texas has that major advantage. No state personal income tax.
And generally, the cost of living and housing are substantially lower than in the big urban centers of California or New York.
That tax-free income sounds incredibly compelling. But there has to be a catch. If the state isn't collecting income tax, where does that revenue come from?
It's the crucial caveat, and the sources make it crystal clear. Texas compensates heavily through property taxes.
They're much higher.
Generally much higher, often double the rate of states like California or New York. So while your monthly paycheck is bigger, which is a great psychological win, your annual housing expense, especially if you own a home, absorbs a big chunk of that savings.
So we're talking about a cash flow advantage, more money in your pocket each month, but maybe a lower overall wealth building advantage if your goal is home equity because of those high property taxes.
Precisely. It completely changes who the state is perfect for. The Texas model is ideal for fast-growing businesses and small-scale entrepreneurs who need to manage their cash flow.
Okay, now let's move to Florida, the tourism and international trade hub. Demographically, the intensity is just astonishing. It's around 22% foreign-born statewide.
But in places like Miami-Dade County, the sources say it's over 50%.
Half the county is foreign-born.
50%. That scale fundamentally changes the integration experience. You're plugging into a massive, existing, international, and particularly Latin American ecosystem.
And the main economic drivers are tourism, hospitality, logistics, real estate. And Miami is this major international finance hub, right?
A huge one, with an immense Spanish-speaking business community. And like Texas, Florida offers that powerful incentive, no state personal income tax.
Housing costs are generally better than San Francisco or New York, but we should note that Miami real estate is rapidly climbing into that high-cost territory. It's not uniformly cheap anymore.
No, it's not. But what's really fascinating here is how integration is so tied to language and culture. Florida has these exceptionally strong Spanish-speaking and Latino communities.
Which means a lot of the adaptation services, job boards, legal help, are often available primarily in Spanish.
Which makes the whole process incredibly simple for Spanish speakers. It just removes a major cultural barrier that other immigrants have to deal with.
So beyond the tax bonus, you have the warm climate, which is a powerful quality of life factor.
It's a very compelling package, especially for those prioritizing budget and, well, eternal sunshine.
So we've covered the extremes: high cost, high opportunity on one side, and low tax, high growth on the other.
Now let's look at the final state, the one that tries to balance both extremes, the one that serves as a kind of balancing bridge.
New Jersey.
New Jersey. It maintains a very high concentration of foreign-born residents, around 23 to 25%. So it's right up there with California and New York.
And its economy is high income, driven by strong sectors like pharma, healthcare, logistics, and finance.
But the key to New Jersey's whole proposition is its geographical proximity to those other massive economic centers.
That's it. So many residents commute into New York City and Philadelphia. That boosts the local labor market and income levels. You get access to the opportunities of the Northeast without paying to live right in Manhattan.
But that adjacency means the cost structure reflects that premium. Housing and taxes are firmly above average, closer to the California and New York category. So why choose New Jersey?
The specific benefit that compensates for this is what we've termed the education dividend.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
New Jersey is consistently renowned for having some of the strongest suburban public school districts in the entire country.
So the high property tax you pay there isn't just a burden, it's a direct, measurable investment in public services. That quality of public schooling is the real value proposition for growing families.
It's a powerful distinction, especially for immigrant parents prioritizing their children's future. The sources also mentioned a high number of successful immigrant small business owners, fostering strong entrepreneurial networks. It's excellent for specialists in life sciences and for growing families.
So this brings us to the synthesis point. When you stack all 5 of these states side by side, how should you, the listener, prioritize your search depending on your goal?
We can break it down by a few core goals. Let's imagine Maria, a software developer. Her number one priority is career maximization in a high-skill field like IT or biotech.
Maria should start with California and New York. They offer the largest absolute number of high-skill, high-salary roles and the best specialized networking.
But she should definitely keep Austin and Dallas as strong secondary options. Those are perfect if she wants to lower her initial entry cost and trade some prestige for that immediate cash flow benefit.
Okay, new profile. Imagine Jose. He wants to maximize his take-home pay, live affordably, maybe while running a small trade business. His priority is purely financial.
Jose should look immediately at Texas and Florida. The absence of state personal income tax gives him the best net income advantage right out of the gate, maximizing his cash flow.
And while he'll face higher property taxes in Texas or rising housing costs in Miami, his overall monthly overhead outside those major metro areas is generally going to be lower.
And finally, let's think about a family landing in the U.S. They need the easiest possible cultural landing because of language barriers. Their priority is integration and community support.
For them, density and history matter most. The sources strongly recommend areas with long-established, dense immigrant networks that provide that instantaneous support.
So we're talking about the Bay Area in California, the dense network of New York City, or the amazing linguistic support in Miami and across certain enclaves in New Jersey.
That really brings the whole picture into sharp focus. The choice really does boil down to that fundamental trade-off. Do you prioritize maximizing raw economic opportunity and accept the highest living costs? That's New York and California.
Or do you prioritize minimizing the tax burden for immediate financial relief, accepting the challenge of those property taxes? That's Texas and Florida.
Or do you seek that specific balance, that high education dividend for your family, even if it means accepting above average costs, which is New Jersey's whole pitch? The financial metrics are crucial for setting a budget.
But let's end on this final provocative thought. For many immigrants, especially those starting families, the strength of non-financial qualitative factors can often outweigh marginal differences in salary or taxation.
So the data suggests we need to shift our focus away from pure numbers and toward qualitative fit.
Think about the guaranteed strength of those suburban schools in New Jersey, or the fact that Florida offers comprehensive linguistic support and a warm climate that just eliminates a huge cultural barrier from the jump.
So go beyond the spreadsheet entirely.
Exactly. You should absolutely explore those qualitative factors next: comfort, education, community feeling, because those human elements might be the true deciding factor, holding more weight than just the dollars and cents.
That is a perfect challenge for our listener. Thanks for diving into the sources with us.